Good evening. This is Naimah Latif with an important Media Connection news brief. I'm here at 75th and Kenwood, the site of another fatal shooting of one of our youth. This evening, a little after 11 o'clock, shots were fired, and a young man lay bleeding on the ground and was later pronounced dead. Another is in the hospital fighting for his life, and residents are horrified, wondering why. Residents here say that the violence has never been as bad as it's gotten in the last 3 years. Residents say that even though the violence has increased at an alarming level, there can still be something done because the people know each other in this neighborhood and the families know each other. So they plan to get together and talk about what to do to end the violence. We're here at 75th and Kenwood with a pastor who's been actively working to end the violence. Pastor, could you give us your name, the name of your church, and what you've been doing to increase the peace?
My name is Anthony Wright. I'm the pastor of Just Christ Ministries, located at 7427 South Chicago. Every summer, we cancel our Bible study, and our congregation, we walk the community. We believe that the church has to go beyond the four walls of our buildings, and so we walk and we pray with community residents. We want to make just a visible showing in our community that people can walk the streets. We have our children with us. We speak to our neighbors, introduce ourselves. Also, this summer we started a pilot boxing mentoring program at 7445 South Chicago called the Ring of Hope. And this is a program that's geared towards young men ages 8 to 18. And we use the sport of boxing to teach self-discipline and physical fitness. And so we're looking to also use that pilot program this school year as an after-school program. These are just some of the things that we're doing. We're trying to find ways to engage our young people into positive behaviors. Just today I went to a meeting and we're trying to get some job skills training in our community where they'll teach plumbing, electricity, and all those other good things, because we have to figure out something. You know, it's very discouraging, but we can't give up. The young man that was killed today, when we were doing our community walk last Wednesday, he was cautioning us about our kids that were with us walking, and he said 5 minutes ago someone was just shooting, and I got a phone call tonight while in my bed that he just got killed. So it's just very discouraging, but we can't give up. You know, we have to continue to fight, continue to look for solutions. Even the young lady right now who's yelling and screaming, she's a community activist, but I could just tell from her frustration that it's beginning to get the best of her as well. So,
I understand she's the aunt of the young man?
Yeah, she's been out here for a number of years trying to organize and talking to people, and I guess when it hit close to home like this, it just affects you sometimes in a negative way.
What has been the response of residents as you do your community walks on Wednesdays?
Well, they don't really respond directly to the walks, but I could tell there's a positive response based on the smiles on their faces. People from their windows will wave, they'll speak. They're very receptive to prayer. And I think that people, for the most part, are looking for solutions. But we don't really have, prayer is good, of course, but we don't have the resources and the other help that's needed to offset some of the things that are going on in our community.
What do you feel is the sentiment of the people tonight after this tragedy?
I guess they're mixed sentiments. I guess depending upon who you ask. You know, from the family, of course, they're angry. Some of the other young men may be thinking about revenge. You know, I don't know. It's probably mixed emotions. There's so many different dynamics going on because they're fighting against people within their own community. See, it's one thing when they're fighting against outside forces called other communities or other gangs, but when it's inside the community within their own gangs, it just creates a whole nother level of confusion. You don't know who to trust, you know, who's behind it, and, you know, it's just very difficult.
Well, we thank you for bringing a spirit of peace with your prayer tonight.
I'm trying. Thank you.
This is Naimah Latif with a Media Connection news brief.